You getting a lot of calls from people in California that want to move to Pittsboro?
Yeah, yeah. A matter of fact, we did our demographics as far as where people are moving from in Chatham County, and of course, number one was Wake County. Um, Number two was Orange County, Chapel Hill, and then way up there again was Mecklenburg County, Charlotte, and then way high on the list too, I saw Orange County again. I was like, oh, well, that must be a mistake. We could put Orange County twice, but it was Orange County, LA, California. That's it's a top 10 demographic for people that are moving to Chatham County. And when we look at their numbers, we're like blown away. We're astounded what 12, 14, 1600 square foot ranch, and they're at 875, 950, 1.2 million. I mean, these are just crazy numbers to us because very few $1 million homes in Chatham County, period. And when they find out what they can buy, they don't want to sell their $1 million house and buy a $1 million house here. They want to sell their $1 million house and buy a $300,000, $400,000, or $500,000 house because it's just as nice or a lot nicer than what they had in California. One of the two things that we always hear from, when somebody moves from California, they're blown away with how much cheaper everything is. The other thing they're blown away is how green everything is. They just talk about, oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how green this is. Like driving down the highway and there's nothing but trees and it's all green and everything. And when you go to California, I mean, there are a lot of brown parts and dry parts of California. So they're blown away with how green this area is. They're blown away by the prices. They aren't intimidated or commute times are not a huge factor. So we just recently had a couple move from California, and they were asking about a specific property in North Chatham, and we're like, yeah, but it's going to be like 45 minutes to an hour to Raleigh, and they're like, their commute time then was 2 hours. So they were doing 4 hours a day. So when you knock it down in half or even less than half, it's just not as big of a concern. They do talk about public transportation, that we don't have that. They do talk about our highways not being as good or as wide, but then they also talk about the traffic not being as bad either. But a lot of people calling from California right now.
How about San Francisco?
San Francisco specifically, yeah. I mean, this might be some of the most expensive real estate in the entire country. They're talking about 900, 800 square foot apartments over $1 million, which again just blows our minds and everything. There's a lot of weird stuff going on politically. There's a lot of experimentation going on in San Francisco right now, and some of the calls that we're getting from California is they've had it with too much government, too much. You can't have a plastic straw. You can't have. I mean, there's just a lot of different things going on there. Taxes being really high, the commute times being horrible. But yeah, we're getting a lot of calls from San Francisco as well.
Do most people move to Wake County first, or do they come?
Yeah. We're usually. I mean, every now and then we hook up with someone that decides that they want to be in Chatham first. But the most common demographic is the second move. So they move to Raleigh or Cary or even Apex now. And I always tell people, 2x4 costs the same in Chatham County as it does Wake County. The only thing that we have cheaper here is land. And so, there are a lot of people that are fine with a tenth of an acre, an eighth of an acre, or a quarter acre. A quarter acre lot is considered a big lot in Cary, and a quarter acre lot here in Chatham is considered a very small lot. So we have an acre and a half or a 2 acre lot, which most of us think is small in Chatham County. That's still 10 times the size of an average Cary lot. And so it's just those people that want more land. But yeah, it's very common that we're a second move instead of a direct move.